Hey guys, figured I'd give a little update on the Renegade. Did a few things to it, and figured some of you might want to know what I did. Hopefully I can have some useful information for you. Here's my 16 Grizzly, and I've done some videos on it already, and you know that I've got some complaints on it. But one thing I got to say is it's got a cushy ride. You know, they're just basic cheap shocks, but whatever Yamaha did, the thing just rides smooth. Even going off a jump, and I always going off jumps, maybe getting a couple feet of air. I mean, nothing major, but man, the shocks just take it with no bottoming out. And then when going over rocks and roots and logs, they're smooth. Just a really good set of suspension on that Grizzly. That's about the only thing I like about it. Now this beast, I've done some videos on it too, and I still have a little bit of a problem with the ride. It's still not. It's that Grizzly kind of sours me, because I've gotten used to such a cushy ride, and this thing just is not that smooth. You know, I'm sure if you take them across whoops and you really hammer down, this thing's going to handle the whoops and stuff a lot better than that Grizzly. But when you're doing just normal everyday type riding, this just doesn't ride as smooth. And I have made all kinds of adjustments. I've lowered the springs down like 2 inches to try to fix that, and I don't know, I'm just not smart enough with suspension, and I can't figure it out. But it's still a fun machine. The thing's got so much power, even with these bigger tires that I have just put on it that I'll talk about here in a minute. It's still fun. You still feel that torque, and I just have a lot of fun with it. So I guess I'm gonna put up with a rough ride. I may eventually take the shocks off and have them reworked. Maybe there can be some improvement there. But anyway, so what I've done to this thing, one thing I want to point out, before I went riding this Saturday, I took a look at this bolt on this drive, this rear drive line. Right up in there, I think it's a 13 millimeter bolt that holds that on, and you can see it. You can see it right there. One in the back, one in the front. Mine was finger loose. Right up here, this was finger loose. It was loose, and I could move that bolt with my finger. So I tightened that up, and it's a good thing I did, because I don't think it would have lasted too long. So whether you've got a Renegade or an Outlander, that is probably something that you're going to want to keep an eye on a regular basis. You know, there's other people having the issue, so for some reason, it's an issue that, you know, you're going to want to take a look at. So these are GBC Dirt Commanders. They're 29 9 14s in the front, 29 11s, 14s in the back. I love the grip. They just seem a real grippy tire. I'm really happy with their performance so far. Now, how long they're going to last, I don't know. Time will tell, I guess, on that. But they're just a real good grippy tire. I like the way they look. I bought some 14-inch wheels. These are STI brand. I don't know what the actual wheel name is, but they're STIs. The 14-inch, the reason I went that way is because I wanted a taller tire, and I don't want a 10-inch wide on the front. I want a 9-inch. If I could get an 8-inch, I'd put an 8-inch on the front. So with a 14-inch wheel, that allows me to get a taller tire without going 10 inches wide. Now, I did try some GBC Dirt Commanders in the 27-inch. Both, you know, 27, 9, 14, 27, 11, 14 in the back. But they measure 27 inches, or excuse me, 25 inches. And maybe if I aired them up, mounted them on the wheel, aired them up, they would have went 27. But I just don't see that happening. I could have made a mistake there. But I was a little disappointed, because I was told they were an actual 27. I just didn't see that was going to happen. So I sent them back, and I went ahead and got these 29s. These 29s actually measure about 28. Now I'll get my tape measure out. Now I apologize. Tape measure is here in the shop. Let's go back in here and grab this dumb thing. Sorry about the little detour there. I should have had my stuff figured out here. Okay. I'm trying to do this one-handed. Alright, so that appears to be about 28 inches. Now, of course, depending on where you want to place it, you know, you guys can be the judge of that, but according to my eye, they're right about 28 inches tall. And I have no rubbing anywhere except on one spot in the back. The fronts are great. It's just because I have these fender flares, which I really like because they do help in keeping the mud off you. You know, especially the front. I mean, man, the front here, you're just getting mud constantly coming right through this area. I'm gonna go on the other side. I don't know how good this video is going to show up, but you know, they help. I'll just put it that way. They help. So I really don't want to take them off, but they do rub when the suspension's compressed a little bit. They do rub. There's a little indentation on this right here. See if I can get in here and you can see. Yeah, right. See, it rubs a little bit right there when they're being compressed a little bit. That is the only rubbing that I have. It's a bummer, but I do like the clearance that I've gotten with these things, and still being able to have my suspension soft and have clearance to not be hitting stuff all the time, which I was doing with the stock tires. And they say they're 25s, but I bet you they don't come close to being 25s if you put a tape measure up to it. So this gave me the clearance that I like. Just not for sure what I'm going to do about the rubbing yet, because I really don't want to take these fender flares off. But anyway, these weights, I might talk about this a little bit. I tried to balance these wheels with the weights, you know, inside. You can see some of the tape that's still on there, but I couldn't get them to balance, and they were off quite a bit, and I just don't want any handlebar shake. So we decided the only way we were going to get them balanced from playing around with it was to put weights on clear on the far side of each side of the wheel. So I got some back in there, and then I had to put some clear on this outside lip. And with us doing that, we got them zeroed out, and I got close to 75 miles an hour with no handlebar shake, just smooth as can be. So I guess I'm going to deal with some weights. I might paint them black, make them look a little better, but I've had a lot of different tires and I've gotten some handlebar shakes, and I don't want that. So I'm going to deal with the ugliness of the weights for now. These tires, according to my digital scale that I bought, the backs are 33 pounds, just the tire, and the fronts 29.914s are 28. So fronts are 28s, backs are 33. I didn't measure the 27s. Like I said, I was disappointed with the height. Didn't think they were going to be quite what I wanted, so I sent them back without weighing them. But I did weigh these before I mounted them, and they were, like I said, 33 in the back and 28 up front. The wheels, these STI wheels, are 13 and a half pounds a piece. The stock ones are right at 10. I noticed after taking them off that the front wheels are a little more narrow, a little narrower than the backs, maybe an inch or so, but according to my scale, they still, all four wheels still weighed 10 pounds a piece. So I did add quite a bit of weight to this setup, which, you know, it is what it is. You're getting a stronger tire, better gripping tire. It's not going to puncture as easy, I guess, and getting some clearance. So I guess the drawback is you're going to lose maybe a little bit of get up and go, but these Can-Ams have so much power that it's not as noticeable as if you put it on something with a lot less horsepower, like a Honda Foreman or something. So fun thing is still fun to ride even with these bigger tires. You know, still wheelies, just not quite as good, but the grip on these GBC Dirt Commanders is really good. I'm really happy with them. So yeah, I'm really happy with this purchase. It's just where it rubs, you know, where it rubs down there is the only issue. Anyway, I guess that's about it. Oh, these, as some of you guys with Renegades know, there is no mud protection here at all, and when you're out playing in the mud and whatnot, you're getting rocks that just get flung up under the handlebars and with air boxes and everything. So I made this, you know, crazy mud flap thing. It's just cheap mud flaps from Walmart, and I zip tied them. Zip tied them to the shocks, and the bottom, you know, the bottom just, see if I can get a better picture. See that the bottom ones are loose. They're not tight, but so this does flat, but it still really helps in keeping the mud from getting flung up there. I did have to drill, you know, some little holes in the plastic, which it's kind of hard to get over because, you know, a $14,000 machine and I'm drilling holes in the plastic. So you can see how I did these. They show a little bit, but what it did as far as keeping the mud out is worked really well, so I guess it's okay. So anyway, guys, that's some things I thought I'd be worth sharing with you all, and I'll try to do better about putting some actual riding videos up, and I guess that's it. See you next time.